Всем привет! Hello, hello, everybody. One and a half, my favorite person who always joins our live meetings. Um, actually, so far we've done two videos going live. One was done by me and one was done by Uliana. And the first time it was super stressful for both of us because we didn't know, maybe there will be no people showing up, or maybe it will be too hard to do something like this spontaneously. But actually, I enjoyed this experience, so thank you. Let's see if I can share my screen with you. All right. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen with you and you're supposed to see it. But one second. Stop. Today I wanted to tell you about 10 conversational phrases that you can use in order to escalate a bit in your Russian. Because some people know some Russian phrases, know some words, and maybe when you hang out with your friends, you can even understand what your friends are talking about. But it's just difficult for you to switch into Russian because your level is not enough to keep up the conversation. But still, I really want to encourage you to do that. And I want to show you what phrases, what words you can use. So actually, even with little knowledge of Russian, you could at least show your involvement. All right. So I'm just going to share my screen with you again. Share screen. Actually, let me text here. I'm going to text here and see if you can see it. All right. So I texted the first word, and I think we'll put all the words in the description. So if you watch this video as a recorded one, just look into the description and you will see every phrase that I'm going to tell you now. So the first one, everybody knows the phrase «как дела?». But how can we go deeper from it? You cannot just ask all the time «как дела, как дела, как дела?». There are other ways to ask the same question, but be a little bit more specific. So дела means things to do. So we are asking, how are your things to do? Как дела? Instead of дела, we can use any other word. So we can say, how's your wife? How are your kids? How's your dog? How's your friend? How's your work? Let's see, how do we say it? Как ты? How are you? Как твой муж? How's your husband? Как твой друг? How's your friend? Как твоя собака? Как твой кот? Как твоя работа? Or if you want to go formal, you just say как ваш муж? Как ваша собака? Как ваша работа? Как ваш дом? Как твой дом? For example, the person is doing renovation. So when you meet your friend, you can just ask, «Привет, как твой дом?» Implying that you're asking about renovation. Yeah, so don't use just дела, use other words. Sometimes we say both phrases. For example, «Привет, как дела, как работа?» Or «Как дела, как семья?» «Как дела, как football?» I don't know, whatever the person is interested in. So not just дела, but other things. The second one. What do you answer normally to the question «Как дела?» Usually people say «Хорошо», «Всё хорошо», everything is good, «Всё хорошо», «Отлично», «Нормально». What other things you can say? For instance, you can say «Неплохо», not bad, «Неплохо». Or «Всё хорошо», «Всё нормально», «Всё отлично». So this little word «всё», actually, I think we use it quite a lot, but not many teachers teach this word. So just be aware of it. «Всё нормально», «Всё хорошо». We spell it like this, with the letter V, «всё». But actually, we pronounce it like «ф», «Всё хорошо», «Всё отлично», «Всё нормально». Okay, phrase number 3. And the phrase number 3, for example, you speak English with your friend, and you already agreed to do something. In Russian, you can say the word «давай», which means come on, or let's do it, okay. So when you already had your English conversation, you can switch into Russian and say «давай» или «окей, давай, давай, давай», «хорошо, давай», «отлично, давай». And another way you can say it «не вопрос». «Не вопрос», it means not an issue, not a question, I'll do it, no problem, or we'll do it, no problem. «Не вопрос». «Не вопрос». «Не вопрос», we'll do it, all good. Okay, the phrase number 4. In the conversation, quite sometimes we have to say I don't know. So instead of saying it in English, it's your time to switch into Russian and use all the Russian you know. And you can say «я не знаю», which means I don't know. Or you can sound more natural and say «ну, я не знаю». Let's try it. Try it now. «Ну, я не знаю». «Ну» shows even more that you're not confident, you're not certain. «Ну, я не знаю». And also, «ну» shows that you are thinking or reconsidering, but still not sure about it. «Ну, я не знаю». Mostly, I guess it's if they ask you, do you want to do it or not? And you can say, «Ну, я не знаю». I'm not really sure. Actually, yeah, I think I'm not sure what would be a good translation for «Ну, я не знаю». Or you can say «Блин, я не знаю». Да, like, damn it, I don't know. «Блин, я не знаю». Another little word that can help you to sound more as a natural speaker, you can say «так». Russian people say this word a lot, «так, так, так». It means so, basically in the beginning of the phrase, or if you're thinking about something, you can say «так». And even if your Russian is not enough yet to speak, and you speak English with your Russian friends or colleagues, you can still say «так». You can say «так» and then switch into English, but that «так» would actually give that cultural code to another Russian person. Or you can even say «так, так, так». «Так, так, так» 3 times, just if you're thinking about something, or if there is a pause into the conversation, you can say «так, так, так». And I think the reaction of your Russian friends would be motivating. Okay, the next phrase. What can you say? Even if you speak English with your Russian friends. Question about plans. You can ask, what are your plans for today, for tomorrow, for dinner? Again, even if you speak English, you can always ask this question in Russian, and I'm sure your Russian friends would appreciate it. So, how do you say it? It will be какие планы на... I'm going to make it visible for you in a second. Какие планы на? What are your plans for? Какие планы на сегодня? Какие планы на вечер? Какие планы на ужин? Какие планы на завтра? Also, you can use any day of the week. So let's revise some days of the week, and I'm going to repeat them for you. Какие планы на понедельник? Какие планы на вторник? Какие планы на среду? Какие планы на четверг? Какие планы на пятницу? Какие планы на субботу? Какие планы на воскресенье? So if you studied the days of the week, you understood all these 20 seconds that I was speaking in Russian, which is good. So, какие планы на? Ask this question to your Russian-speaking friends, even if you speak English. Don't forget, you can always switch into Russian just for a little bit of phrases. And you can either ask a question or give a reaction. Because if your Russian is not enough for fluent speaking, it will be really difficult for you to switch into Russian in the middle of conversation, but you can always ask a question in Russian, and you can always give a reaction in Russian. Okay, number 6. After we go through my list of 10, I'm going to repeat all of them. So, number 6, again, how can you give a reaction with only one word? If something fell down, if something happened, you can say Blin. Yeah, like Blin, it's not only pancake, but only it's a word like damn it, but not in a bad way. It's quite soft. Blin can say everybody, even babushka. So instead of swearing in English in front of your Russian friend, you can say Blin. Or another phrase, a bit more complicated, but I'm gonna tell you, it's Черт возьми. Черт возьми, Черт it's devil, and Черт возьми means like damn it. It's a little bit harder than Blin, but still you can say it. So imagine you're around your Russian-speaking friends, and obviously you speak English because maybe your Russian is not enough, or this is your language code to speak. And then something happens, somebody drops something, or you drop something, and instead of saying some swearing word in English, you say Blin or Черт возьми. Everybody would be just shocked. Believe me, I've seen those reactions. Everybody would look at you as if you speak fluent Russian, because to swear in Russian, you need to have really high level. So try that, to say Blin or Черт возьми. Also, you can say да блин. It's also, in this case, da only emphasizes the next word. Да блин. Okay, number 7. Number 7 works for formal situations. It's the phrase that I say almost in every video about formal Russian. And if you don't know this phrase yet, you're missing out. It's Можно, пожалуйста. Right. Можно, пожалуйста. Let me write it and make it visible for you. Можно, пожалуйста. This is a general phrase for can I have. Actually, you can say it to your friend as well. Можно, пожалуйста, соль, if you want him to pass you salt. Можно, пожалуйста, сок. Можно, пожалуйста, чай. Or if you're in a cafe, in a restaurant, you just say «Можно, пожалуйста, кофе», «Можно, пожалуйста, капучино», «Можно, пожалуйста, чай». Or you can just say «Можно, пожалуйста» and point your finger to the thing you want, and I'm sure people will give it to you. Also, yeah, «Можно, пожалуйста» is a good phrase in every formal situation. It's the phrase you say, and even in an informal situation. if you need your friend to pass you something, just say «Можно, пожалуйста». Okay, the next conversational phrase «Спасибо, пожалуйста». I'm sure you know it. Thank you, you're welcome. But let's see how can we say it a bit different. So instead of спасибо, we can say big thank you. Thanks a lot. Большое спасибо. I'm going to make it visible for you. Большое спасибо. Big thank you. And you probably know the word большой, but if you don't use this collocation, I recommend you to use it because it sounds just kind of on the level up. Everybody say thank you. Even people who don't learn Russian but watch some Russian films about mafia, everybody can say thank you. But большое спасибо, this is something that intelligent people say. So try that. Большое спасибо. Большое спасибо. Большое спасибо. Thanks a lot. Большое спасибо. And then instead of saying пожалуйста, as you're welcome, you can also say not at all, which is gonna be не за что. I'll bring it up in a second. Не за что. 3 words. Не за что. Not for what. Не за что. Like not at all. Большое спасибо. Не за что. Not at all. Enjoy. Большое спасибо. Не за что. All right, the phrase number 9. Very simple situation. Again, imagine you have your English conversation or any other language, not Russian, because you're still scared, your Russian is not enough, you're not fluent enough. You know that in the room there are people who speaks and understand Russian, but you feel too shy to say something in Russian because what's gonna happen next? But you always can give reaction in Russian. You can say, how tasty, how beautiful, how wonderful, how horrible. And so how do you say it? You know the words, I'm sure. The first one is как дела? Yeah, we say, how are you? So to say how tasty, we need to say, just want to make sure I'm not shouting too much. Как вкусно. Yeah? So как вкусно, how tasty. Как красиво, how beautiful. Как жарко, да? Как жарко. Как холодно. Как ужасно. Да? You heard some horrible news and you can say как ужасно. And the person who speaks Russian, he would feel more connected to you if you say this phrase in his native language rather than in any other language. So, как ужасно, как отлично, как прекрасно, как трудно, да? How hard, как трудно. But как вкусно, definitely, especially if somebody give you the food or if you having lunch in the restaurant. Just say как вкусно. Спасибо, как вкусно. And the phrase number 10, to encourage somebody or to say good job, man, yeah, great. We use the word молодец. Да? Молодец means good job. Normally a teacher say it to a student or a parent say it to the kid. But also we can say молодец just to say, wow, good job. Also you can say wow. It's the same in Russian. Wow, молодец. You can also say красавчик. Красавчик. Красавчик means like, again, great job. Красавчик from the word красивый, beautiful, but it's like красавчик. Okay, I'm going to revise all the phrases now again. So the first one, instead of asking как дела, make sure you ask about something specific. Как твоя работа? Как твоя учеба? Как твой университет? Как твоя мама? Как твой папа? Как твои дети? Как твоя дочка? The second, when you answer the question «Как дела?», you can use a variety of phrases. You can say «Все хорошо», everything's good. «Все отлично», «Все прекрасно», «Все нормально». Number 3. Russian people use the word «давай» quite a lot. It's like «come on» or «okay», «давай», «okay». Or even when they say «bye», they say «давай». For example, somebody's talking on the phone and they say «okay, давай». That means bye, just why. So «давай» you can say in almost every situation. And also the word «так», which means so. You can just say «так». Or if you are thinking about something, you can say «так», and people would appreciate it. The phrase number 4, you can say «Блин, я не знаю». Damn it, I don't know. Блин, я не знаю. Or да, я не знаю. Well, I don't know. Or ну, я не знаю. I don't know. Number 5. You can ask people about their plans. Какие планы на завтра? Какие планы на сегодня? Какие планы на ужин? Какие планы на обед? Какие планы на понедельник? Какие планы на вторник? Какие планы на среду? Какие планы на пятницу? And any other days of the week. You can swear in Russian in a soft way. You can say Blin, or you can say Черт, возьми, which is more complex. I personally don't use Черт, возьми. I think it's a bit old-fashioned, but if you want to sound like a interesting classic gentleman, you can try Черт, возьми. The next one. Можно, пожалуйста. I always teach this phrase as almost the first one, which means can I have? You can say it in any formal situation, or even with your friends. You can ask, can I have something? Можно, пожалуйста. Можно, пожалуйста. And then you say whatever. The next, instead of saying thank you and you're welcome, instead of saying спасибо, пожалуйста all the time, you can say большое спасибо, big thank you. And you can say не за что. Не за что. Не за что, not at all. Большое спасибо, не за что. Большое спасибо, не за что. The next, you can give a reaction. Again, even if your Russian is not fluent yet, you always can switch to Russian and give a reaction and say как вкусно, как красиво, как плохо, как хорошо, как ужасно, как прекрасно. That's like so beautiful, or how beautiful, how tasty. So use that. And the last one, to encourage somebody, you say молодец or красавчик. Yep. So that's all the phrases. If you want to ask me any question about something that you're struggling in Russian, this is your time. Or you can also tell me what country are you from, or why are you studying Russian. I would be happy to know, and I could even talk about your situation or give some personal recommendations. But for now, while you have a chance to text something in the comments, I'll tell you about how the things are in Russia at the moment. Because this morning I talked to Uliana, and I'm in Montenegro at the moment. Uliana is in Russia at the moment. And me and her, we both love our country. We both love Russia. But today, this morning, we came to an agreement that it's pretty hard and inconvenient to live in Russia at the moment, especially for us as content creators, because it seems like the country creates problems for you, and it's pretty hard. For example, last week, Uliana went live, if you've seen her, if you remember, and she barely could find a good internet anywhere. But okay, maybe it's a personal technical problem. But the thing is that YouTube is blocked in Russia for, I don't know for how long, maybe for almost a year now. So every time we go to Russia, it's much more difficult to upload videos. It's much more difficult to be on YouTube because we have to use VPN, and it's very long. Everything's uploading for a long time, so it's not convenient. And yep, what other difficulties Uliana shared with me, because I'm not in Russia, so I'm kind of distant from the information field there. But she told me that she's really pissed off on some laws that the government's talking about. It's nothing major, but just silly. Again, just more control about your banking transactions, or how much money you can withdraw, or just especially with YouTube, with Instagram, with McDonald's live in Russia forever, Zara and other brands live in Russia. It feels limited. It doesn't feel like the country is improving, rather than just being more closed. And it's sad for me personally. It's sad. I've always tried to be attached to Russia legally, or just in any way I can. And I love going to Russia. I like traveling there. But I feel like I will need to think about having roots, like proper legal roots, somewhere abroad. Because with the things happening in Russia, it's just not comfortable place to live. Hi Ray, thank you for the comments, for the support. I'm happy I'm not alone here. I'm just going to quickly look at what else Uliana told me today. For example, she mentioned they are talking about the law to fine women who have no children because they want to because they see the problem. They see that many people left Russia, obviously, and they are trying to fix this problem by making more children and by making women pay, like grown women who have no children, which is just ridiculous. It's not a law yet, and it's probably never gonna happen. But again, it's just ridiculous that the government is discussing just things like that rather than doing something better. Yes. So she mentioned that for Indian people, it's visa free to go to Russia as a tourist, which again, I don't know why is this rule. Yeah, but mostly the internet. I think it's just not convenient to not be connected to the whole world. I think in 21st century, should be allowed to use global systems like YouTube and Instagram and other bits. In Russia, they created YouTube. Oh, not YouTube, sorry, RuTube, Russian YouTube. But obviously, it's not as good. It's not convenient. But the main problem is that Russian YouTube doesn't have the storage of information that YouTube has, and it's impossible to create it. It would take years, and how can you replace the experience of people from all over the world just creating new YouTube? It's crazy. And obviously, in the beginning, my friends, they said, no, I'm never gonna be on RuTube. I miss YouTube and I'm never gonna fall for that. But what do you think? Now in RuTube, there are all the popular films, all the popular TV shows that normally you have to pay in Netflix or Amazon Prime, but Russia is famous for some pirates, I don't know, finding information. So you can find almost any TV show and watch it for free in the great quality. Of course, people sign up for RuTube. Of course, they use RuTube now and they forget YouTube because it's not convenient to use YouTube. You always have to use VPN. Then with VPN, your phone become working slightly worse. And then if you forget to switch your VPN off, your banking doesn't work, your other governmental websites doesn't work. So it's just pain in the ass, especially if you do a channel. Like Uliana told me once that I think it was her idea to create a channel in the first place some years ago. And she told me that she feels that YouTube is our child and she's like a father and I'm like a mother because I took off. She started it, but then she disappeared for a year maybe. She disappeared into her life, into her traveling, and it became my project. So I did YouTube for some months and then she came back and we started it together. Oh, thank you so much that you said it's one of your favorite channels. Yeah, I really want to post more. I have many ideas. I have many students at the moment, and actually my students, they give me more ideas because it's people I communicate with on the daily basis. I've just had a lesson from my student. He is half Sri Lankan, half British, and it's really nice to constantly communicate with people and hearing their stories. My other student, her boyfriend is Russian, and so once in a few months she communicates with his parents. They go on a trip to his parents, and every time she's nervous, like, okay, what am I gonna say? How am I gonna understand them? Because she wants to just to show her efforts. She wants to show that she wants to be a part of this family and that she can speak Russian. And then when she comes back, she tells me all about it and which words she said, and that what words like his family told her. So it's just really nice to see the progress of people and be connected to them. Yeah, I feel like I need some new, new impulse to do YouTube. I watch my old videos and I don't even want to recommend this channel to my new friends or new students because I feel like I've grown and the things I say and the way I say in my old videos actually different from how I am now. And it's really crazy to have this crisis of identification on the channel. I know I need to put new videos with new me, with new energy. So thank you so much for the encouragement. It helps a lot. And as long as one of us, me or Uliana, out of Russia, we can do YouTube without problems. Even when we in Russia, we still can upload videos, but it just normally to upload video takes maybe 5 minutes, maybe even less. But if you're in Russia and using VPN, it would take you maybe almost 2 hours. It's okay. I mean, I can leave my computer on and the uploading would go on. But it just it's uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable to feel that, I don't know, some rules don't let you grow and develop your creative projects. Yeah. So let me tell you quickly about my lessons. I do not just academic lessons, but also speaking ones. We do it for 30 minutes. I have some students whose Russian is quite confident, or maybe they already have a tutor, so they're not looking for a tutor, but they realize that extra speaking practice would be beneficial. And so what we do is we just do some speaking practice. I prepare infographics or some picture or some quote, and we discuss it. But I always do it with connection to the interest of my students. So it's never by the book. It's never by what came to my head. It's always what is the person interested in. So if you're interested in trying lesson or doing speaking practice, you can email me. You can find my details in under any video on the channel, or you can fill out the form. So I know some information about you, where you're from, what time is convenient for you, and we can do the first trial lesson. It's for free, basically to get to know each other. And even if you decide not to study yet, it's fine. I can still give you some recommendation. You can give me some suggestions about my channel. So it's fine. We can always have a chat, and I have a few slots a week for personal talks like that might possibly lead to a lesson. Okay, what else? Let me tell you something shortly in Russian about my day. Maybe you'll understand. And then we'll finish. Сегодня 6 июля, воскресенье, и я сейчас в Монтенегро. Сегодня очень жарко. 34 градуса на улице, правда жарко. Сегодня утром я встала в 7:30, это рано для меня, и у меня был урок со студенткой из Китая. Она изучает бизнес русский, потому что у нее есть бизнес в России. И мы провели хороший урок. Потом я писала сценарій, це скрипт, я писала сценарий для видео. А потом я пошла в бассейн. Я очень люблю ходить в бассейн и хожу в бассейн 2 или 3 раза в неделю. Но бассейн был закрыт. It was closed. Бассейн был закрыт, к сожалению. И тогда я on the way home, по дороге домой, я увидела реку и мост, и я плавала в реке. Это в центре города, и, может быть, вода не очень хорошая, не очень чистая, но я была так счастлива чуть-чуть поплавать. Я была очень рада. Потом я пришла домой. Я хотела пойти в супермаркет, но сегодня воскресенье, и все супермаркеты закрыты. Все супермаркеты не работают в Монтенегро. И я пошла домой. Дома у меня был урок со студентом из Шри-Ланки. И потом я начала вести этот эфир, going live с вами. И мой бойфренд готовит ужин. Сегодня мне не надо готовить ужин, потому что ужин уже готов. Я очень рада. Okay, so if you understood me speaking good job with your Russian, you definitely have A2 level. And if you understood some words, it's also really good, because I'm going to show you the poster I have on my desk. Oh, it's reflected, but I'll tell you. It says 1% better every day. Just like in learning Russian, you can be 1% better every day, learning another new word a day, practicing a bit more, and look for motivation. Most people just quit studying Russian because they don't understand why they need it. So you can create your own motivation. Maybe that in half a year you'll watch a particular TV show. I really recommend the TV show Hotel. And actually in my Patreon, me and the translator, we did subtitles. You can see Russian subtitles, you can see English subtitles, and every episode is only, I think, 20 minutes. It's not long. It's very, I would say, international like TV show. It's really good. It's really good for practicing Russian. So if you haven't subscribed to my Patreon yet, you can go there and just start watching episodes. It will help you with your Russian. But anyway, you can find any other method of studying. You can find any motivation for yourself. Just don't give up. And let's keep going. Thank you so much for joining today. And have a good day, guys. Всем хорошего дня. Всем пока-пока. До свидания.